It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world.
Broadcastlink.com.
This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now. Polkas After Dark, live. It's another live broadcast. Special edition. Now your hosts, Rob and Jerry.
Hey, well, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. It's all good, guys, because you're here with us and we're here with you on a Polkas After Dark, the Sunday afternoon edition. Welcome. Unfortunately, we didn't have a big football win today, but hey, there's always next week. We want to welcome you. And we also want to say thanks for tuning us in. We are going to have a good afternoon despite the football loss. And we are also going to be talking live with Jody Maddie from Cleveland, Ohio in just about a half an hour or so. He is with a band called the Honky Express. They've changed their name. They're now going to be called the Uptown Sound, or they already are calling themselves the Uptown Sound. But here is a song called Let's All Sing Together. Hey, that's the sound of Jody Maddie with a Honky Express, and we're going to be talking with Jody in less than a half an hour right here on Polkas After Dark on our broadcast link, streaming live on YouTube and also on our Facebook Live page as well. We welcome you, and let's go ahead and bring up another song by Jody. Here's one of the old standards, an old Little Wally favorite. Here's one called the Gypsy Polka. That's the Honky Express, and once again, in just a few minutes, we're going to be speaking live with Jody Maddie. He's getting everything ready. He's using some mouthwash, gargling, brushed his teeth, so you're not going to see him, but he's going to see him. And his wife's going to see him, Sandy. Hey, let's bring up a tune by Stash Belanda, Chicago Masters. Stash Belanda and the APB. You know, I have been doing this ever since I've been on these meds to try to get rid of this gosh darn cold. And so far, as you can tell, it's working great, isn't it? Here's Stash Belanda and the APB. Average Polka Band. Here's one called Old Country Krakowiak. Oh yeah, one by Stash Balanda. And the gang, one called The Old Country Krakowiak. Let's go ahead and bring up a different tune. Here's one by Lynn Marie Rink, one called WD-40.
I remember one Christmas Eve, Santa loaded up his sleigh, and with a kiss to Mrs. Claus, he was headed on his way. But there was trouble from the start at the very first stop they made. From up on top of Wilson's house, you could hear old Rudolph say, Santa's got chimney trouble, he's too fat to get through. He's stuck on top of Bubba's house, and we don't know what to do. Somebody call 911 and bring the hook and ladder too. Santa is stuck, he won't budge, and we don't know what to do. Mrs. Claus had warned him that those moon pies would catch up, and he should watch his fat intake or he was sure to get a big but Santa wouldn't listen and kept drinking those yoo-hoos and ate too many homemade biscuits trying to cure those summer blues. Now Santa's got chimney trouble, he's too fat to get through. He's stuck on top of Bubba's house and we don't know what to do. Somebody call 911 and bring the hook and ladder too. Santa's got chimney trouble and we don't know what to do. All of Santa's reindeer share their expertise on how to get the boss man out and save this Christmas Eve. Dasher said,
I'll sit on him.
And Dancer said,
I'll pull.
Prancer said,
Can we just share a feeling and talk about what to do?
Comet said to Vixen,
This dynamite should work.
Cupid singing love songs, but that just made it worse. Donner got a chisel, started chipping at the grout. Blitzen cracked a cold one and said,
Call me when he's out.
Santa's got chimney trouble, he's too fat to get through. He's stuck on top of Bubba's house and we don't know what to do. Somebody call 911 and bring the hook and ladder too. Santa's got chimney trouble and we don't know what to do. Now just when things were looking bleak, Rudolph's nose was glowing bright, and he came up with a simple plan to save this dreadful night. So he and Bubba Wilson went to the back of his pickup truck, and there they found just the thing to get Santa unstuck. They sprayed old Santa down with the oldest remedy around. That can of WD-40 made Santa slide right out. Oh, Santa had chimney trouble, he was too fat to get through. But they sprayed him down, he slid right out. Now the man's got work to do. So the next time you see Santa Claus, remember this little story, how Christmas Eve was saved one year by a can of WD-40. So this year with his cookies and milk, leave a can of WD-40.
Hey, a little bit of WD-40. What a great tune that is. We've never played that before. And it is Lynn Marie Rink with a song called WD-40. Hey, we want to welcome all of our folks in the chat room. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek here. We've got Mr. Mark Swoger, Musical Mark from North Tonawanda. We've got Tina Curtis Goebel. Also Liz Juba. She says, Happy Sunday, guys. Well, happy Sunday to you, sweetie. Also, we're going to say a big shout out to Linda Petrozeski. Boy, I'm starting to lose my voice already. What am I going to do here? Also, Tommy Hoke down in Pennsylvania. Patty Watson is joining us this evening. It looks like Mr. Ivan Mayers is back in force. He was over at the Seven Dance last evening with a bunch of you. Also, Loretta Curtis Mackle. She's joining us. Mr. Dave Lasowski. It looks like Michelle Szymanski is in the house as well. And also Gail Wojtowicz, Donna and Teresa and Sarah Zielinski up there in Niagara Falls. We've also got, let's see, Mike and Jeannie Subcheck. And I'm just scrolling through here kind of frantically. I don't know how Jerry does it all the time. It's amazing. And Jerry is on her way back. She's about 2 hours yet outside of New York. So I expect her, once she drops her daughter off, she'll be home around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Hey, but we'll be done by then. But you know what? We're still going to have a good time here. We're going to have a good time because we're going to be talking with Jody, Maddie here pretty soon. We also want to say hi to Alice Fischler up in Canada. Also, Jerry Romanowski. He's a glutton for punishment. He keeps coming back. And so we do thank you guys ever so much for stopping in here to Polkas After Dark. And I am going to play a song here by Mr. Charlie Tanzik. You know, Charlie celebrated his birthday last evening with a guy by the name of Troy Govlock and a few others. And we saw some Facebook videos that they were just having a jam session at someone's house. I don't know if it was Charlie's or not, or Troy's. But they just had a blast, and we had a blast listening to them. We also had the pleasure of talking with Troy Govlock last evening and celebrating his new CD, the latest, which we'll play a song or two off of that as well. But let's bring up Charlie to do a song called the Brook State Polka. Dave Lasowski knows where this place is, don't you, Dave? Or was? Well, it looks like the Chip Check Merwins have joined us. Welcome. That's Mr. Charlie Tanzik on the Brook State Polka. And once again, happy birthday to you, Charlie. And I understand that Troy came to our aid and he hooked us up with Charlie Tanzik. And we're going to be interviewing Charlie sometime in January, I believe, of next year, 2022 already. Can you believe that? Hey, you guys know that I mentioned Jerry is away. So we were fortunate enough to have the next door neighbor, Edna, come over. And, well, she's kind of just like hanging out with us. Really? Do you have to eat while we're on the air? That's kind of nice. Oh, all right. But Edna, we thank you so much for stopping by here and filling in for Jerry while she's gone. Hey, let's bring up, this is a good tune right here. And this is Stefan's Christmas Party. Just to give you a little bit of background to this one, this was recorded live, Lenny Gomulka and Chicago Push, back in 2013. I don't know if the Curtises were there at that particular time. They may have been. And here is one called Stefan's Christmas Party.
What do you say, Sashu? We meet at heaven party. Christmas Talian get breaking and shiny. What do you say, Sasha? You took my massa. Smashing, oh, I love you. You make me nice big baka. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. I love you. Baby. Oh, yeah. Moja fajna jest parkusze, a woda Jody i sypła moją. I had so much fun, I cannot hold my penny. I love you so much, Merry Christmas, everybody. Saluchet, you come to my house and I'm having Christmas party. Oh yeah. At my Christmas party. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, nice sound there by Lenny Gomulka live back from 2013 when he performed over at the Manaka PNA Club, the Polish National Alliance. We're also going to send this one out to all the Oksheshiks listening in out in Chicago. Thanks, guys, for popping in here on a Polkas After Dark, the Sunday afternoon edition. And how about we play a little bit of this? You guys saw a little bump on Facebook a little bit earlier today. Let's take a listen to this.
Też przychodzi ubodzy ludzie, pokłon Panu oddać w tej lichej bucie. Siewcy, krawcy, syrulicy, kuźnierz, piekarz, powróżnicy, cieśla z kowalem. Siewcy, krawcy, syrulicy, kuźnierz, piekarz, powróżnicy, cieśla z kowalem. Oto stajenka, w której panienka dziecię piastuje, mile całuje syneczka swego. Nie w Betlejem Galilei, bardzo podłym mieście, ale w Polsce mały Jezus rączką gwiazdę pieścił. Matka Boska wieczorami białe nitki ciemła i śpiewała piosneczkami kolenda, kolenda.
Szczęśliwa kolego, szczęśliwy żłobie, ten Bóg, co świat stworzył, położą w tobie. Niebem nie organiony w tobie wszystek, zamkniony szczęśliwa kolego, szczęśliwy żłobie. Niebem nie organiony w tobie wszystek, zamkniony szczęśliwa kolego.
niezwyciężony. Witaj królu nieba, królu nieskończony. Witaj monarcho, nieprzezwyciężony.
Hi, polka fans. Robin Pegg, host of Polkas After Dark on our broadcast link with a C.com. Also streaming live on Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. Thanks goes out to Troy Govlock for joining us last evening on our Saturday night edition of Polkas After Dark, as we were able to play some of the cuts off of his brand new release called Folk Carols of Poland. Please make sure that you go online today and order your copy at folkcarolsofpoland.com. That's folkcarolsofpoland.com. Order yours today. Get it just in time for Christmas, and they make great stocking stuffers, so order more than one. And once again, we thank Troy Govlock for joining us last evening a little bit to tell us a little bit about that brand new project, some excellent musicians that he has chosen to perform that, and we wish him all the very best. And we know Troy Govlock is playing with the Uptown Sound, the new band, or as we refer to it as the new band. And we're going to be talking with Jody, Maddie in just a couple of minutes. We've got one more song here that we want to bring up for you guys. Here's an Obedic by the Honky Express. All right, one called The Spring Breezes Obedic, and that's the sound of the Honky Express. And right now on our live line, folks, we are proud to have with us this afternoon, direct from Parma, Ohio, Mr. Jody Maddie. Jody, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Robin. Thank you so much for having me as well.
Oh, hey, well, it's been a long time in coming. We thank everybody that takes the time, which it does take a little bit of time for the interview. We pull you out for about a half an hour or a little more. And, of course, we got a chance to talk to you and get some pictures from your lovely Mrs. Sandy, which we do have one of the pictures of you and her that are going to be displaying here momentarily. Hey, Jody, let me ask you first of all, what age were you when you heard your first polka song?
Actually, Robin, I was brought up with polka music. My dad played the accordion, and I would have to say where I heard my first polka, where I actually remembered it, was probably the age of probably 5.
Oh, 5, okay. And how old were you when you picked up your first instrument?
When I first started taking clarinet lessons off of my father, I was the age of 8.
Of 8, okay.
8 years old.
Wow. Now we have some pictures that are showing here strictly of you, and of course, like I said, we did sneak one in of yourself and Sandy. But you have played with a lot of polka greats over the years. I'm going to kind of go off a little bit towards that era, and tell us a little bit about who you've played with.
Well, through the years, I had the honors of playing with Bruno Mikas and the Harmony Stars, the Harmony Tones from Cleveland, Ohio, Marion Lush, and it was great to play with Marion off and on, because growing up as a kid, I idolized him. My brothers idolized him, and to have that opportunity, and starting in 1985 up until I think the last gig that I actually had a chance to play with Marion was in October 1992, when you were also playing with the Sunshine Band.
Oh, yeah.
And we were backing him down at the Kenlock Fire Hall.
I remember that job very, very well.
And going on, I had while playing with Bruno Mikos, I had the honors of playing with Little Wally as well, and then I played with the Trouttones from Pennsylvania for 2 years, and what a great group to play with. Andy and Steve, you can't beat them as far as brothers go. They're a class act.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to fill in with Ray J, played with Wanda and Stephanie, played with Stephanie, played with Larry Zabel in the Glasstown Sound, Jersey Polka Richie, Ray J and the Carousels.
So you've been all over. You've been all over the place then, which is
it was
nice.
A lot of fun. I had and every band I played with, it was always an honor to work with them. I mean, every band has their own little things that they do, their own different types of songs or style.
Sure.
And every band I played with was a good time.
I remember you also filled in with Stashka Lanka.
I filled in with Stashka Lanka as well. That was probably back in 1986. I had the honors of playing with him, because he's another one that came out a little bit later that I idolized as he was like my he could just croon away.
And we love playing a lot of his songs.
And 5 of my brothers, including me, starting with the oldest, which was Tony, and I'm Jody, Constantine, Wally, and then my youngest brother, Vern Maddie.
Gotcha.
And we played, my dad actually was playing the accordion one night in 1967, and my uncle bought my little brother Connie a set of toy drums. And my dad, he heard the rhythms that my brother was playing,
mm-hmm.
and he knew right then that he could get a band started again.
Oh, wow.
So he took Tony and I to see Marion Lush like a couple months later, and Tony liked the two horns with Marion's band. At that time, he had Marion was playing trumpet, Lefty Lewandowski was playing trumpet, Richie Tokars was playing accordion with the bass, and he had Jerry Darlack on drums and Jerry Tokars on. Jerry Darlack on concertina and Jerry Tokars on drums.
Wow, that's going way back.
Yeah, that was at Strauss-Myers Grove in over by Youngstown, Ohio.
Jeez.
And once we saw Marion, we had to try to. That was basically the style that we were trying to go for. But my dad always liked clarinet and sax too. So my brother Tony said, "I want to play trumpet." So my dad got him a trumpet. My dad actually learned how to play trumpet, a few songs, so he could teach my brother. And then he looked at me and said, "Well, you're playing clarinet, like it or not."
Wow! So that's what got you. That's what got you started on clarinet.
And he went out and got a clarinet, and he used to play sax years ago too. So he took the clarinet out and learned a couple songs on it, and then he basically let Tony and I go at it. If we wanted to play, we had to go up in our bedroom and play our instruments, you know.
Great.
And then at that time it was my dad, Tony, myself, and my brother Constantine, and we actually played our first New Year's Eve job.
Oh, that's amazing! That long ago, you started before I did. Holy smokes!
Just a little bit.
Jeez.
And then my first big festival that we went to, my dad took us to Idora Park. Larry Walk had his the first Penn Ohio Polka Festival there, and on the roster, that festival was Frank Wodorowski, Matt Vasilevsky and the Polka Jets.
Oh yeah.
Marion Lush, Little Wally, and Wanda and Stephanie.
Wow.
And it was a sight to behold. And while we were there, me and my four brothers, we were standing in front of the bandstand watching Frank Wodorowski play. And Teresa Zapolsky was also with his band at the time. And he saw us bouncing around on the floor with his beat and that. And so after the song ended, he had me and my brothers all come up to the bandstand, and he introduced us to the crowd and explained our band with Maddie's Polish Princes. And he also had my brother Tony sang Góral Polka with him.
Wow, what a story!
And basically the rest is, we played mainly in the border of Pennsylvania, Ohio. We did make a couple performances on the Polka Varieties TV show.
Okay.
And we did record 245s down at Peppermint in Youngstown, and Gary Ramey, he produced it for us. He was the engineer, as always, and we were all very young ages then, and I don't know, I bet my dad's nerves were pretty shot.
Oh, wow.
But Gary was, he was very pleasant to work for.
Mike Matuzak and Don Rosinski last week, and everybody was saying that they, no matter where they have their product done, where it's engineered, they always send it for a final mix over to the master or the wizard, as you call him, Gary Ramey.
Exactly. I mean, he always does an excellent job, and working with Gary as well as Del too in the background. But Gary always does a very nice job. He's very easy to work with. If he hears something, he thinks you could do better, he'll coach you along.
Oh yeah, and that's the great thing about him, boy. I'll tell you. Hey, also, tell us how many instruments you play, Jody.
Actually, I started out on clarinet, and then I went to tenor sax and alto sax, and then I picked up trumpet and fiddle along the way. My dad used to go to work afternoon shift, and he played fiddle as well. So when he would go leave to go work, I would go upstairs and take his fiddle out and start teaching myself, and then I would neatly put it back in the case so it didn't get, so it didn't look disturbed.
It didn't look like anybody was in it. Beautiful. That's nice. Hey, Jody, what type of music do you listen to when you're not listening to polkas? Do you listen to any other stuff?
When I'm not listening to polkas, I'm a fan of Dean Martin. I like a lot of the older stuff. Frank Sinatra. I like a lot of the older country. John Conley. You basically name it. Anything easy listening, I'm usually there.
Yeah. You've written a few of your songs, haven't you, that you've recorded over the years?
Yes, I've written actually our first CD, there was one that I wrote, and on our second CD, we had, I wrote one in conjunction with, along with Troy Govlock.
Oh.
He did the Polish lyrics for me so I could sing them, and that was called Drinking Together, and believe it or not, I also have probably about 4 or 5 songs that I've written that through the years that I plan on doing when we get to the studio with the Uptown Sound. We've been working on the songs, practicing them out, mainly Troy and I, as well as my brother, and we just have to bring the rest of the guys in and get serious.
Well, that's great. How many recordings do you have out, Jody?
We just have the two recordings, the Polka Heaven CD that was recorded in 2010, okay. And Somewhere There's a Someone that was recorded in 2016.
And those were both at Gary's place?
Yes, everything I've ever recorded was at Peppermint.
Gotcha. Do you have a favorite band that you have never performed with that you would like to have?
You know what, Robin? I think I would be pretty. I mean, of course, there's maybe a band here and there, but I really crossed as many bridges with playing with bands that I never thought I would have the chance to, and I always wanted to. And I mean, like I said, the Marion Lush, Little Wally, Andy Fennis and the Trolltones, Ray J, Joe Baritis. I mean, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Doesn't get any better than that.
I think I would be greedy. And tell you real quick, I had a opportunity to work with Ray J back in, I think it was 1989. I became a truck driver then, and my work schedule was just all over the place. So I could only basically fill in when I was basically in town. And back then in like 89, Ray J called me, and I went down to, I think it was down by Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and I really had such a good time playing with Ray J's band. And then a couple through the years, he tried. I am down in Florida, so and I always put Ray J's band on my bucket list because every time he called me, something was conflicting where I couldn't do it. And I just told myself, I said, well, maybe someday it'll work out. And back in 2019, he gave me a call, and I did probably about 7 weekends with him.
Oh, nice.
And I had the time of my life. And because I felt so comfortable playing with Ray and all the guys in the band.
And like a dream come true, you know, you always wanted to do it, and ta-da, you're there.
Exactly.
Hey, Jody, do you have a most memorable gig that you've played?
Most memorable gig, it would be hard to come up with that, Robin, because Eskills were booming. Played Polkabration, played up in Michigan, a lot of beautiful, nice festivals up in. So I would have, whether it was a big crowd or a little crowd, a lot of them were always great times.
Good. And you mentioned the crowd. Where's the largest crowd that you ever performed for?
Probably the largest crowd that I performed with my band, the Honky Express, would be Cedar, Michigan. They have a festival. At that time, it was basically the same weekend that Seven Springs would be going on. And back in 2011 and 12, we got called to play up there for a weekend. And Robin, I knew what the crowd was going to be like because I was there with Jersey Polka Richie a couple times, and to see 3,000 people in this day and age, it's really welcoming.
Oh, yeah.
As far as a big crowd.
Yeah.
And they still have a big drawing up there.
Yeah, I'll bet. Who did you idolize growing up in the polka music field?
Probably Marion Lush.
All right.
Marion Lush, Frank Wodorowski, and Little Wally.
Gotcha.
And, of course, I always liked Eddie Blazonczyk and Chet Kolakowski combo. And
oh, yeah.
I was a fan of the Pala Brothers. The Crew Brothers from Buffalo, I was a fan of their early stuff, and all their stuff, actually.
Yeah.
And list goes on.
Do you have
there's so many good, there's so many bands out there in different regions that are so good.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Totally agree
look at the southwest corner of Pennsylvania. You have the Sounds, Ray J, Trelltones, Invictas, Bud Hindinsky, no matter, Matt Vasilevsky, no matter what style you liked, it was there.
It was there.
Same thing with Buffalo. Buffalo is always kicking with good bands, and out on the East Coast and Chicago.
Sing, Jody? Is that right?
And I always liked that song, and I always called Sandy my angel baby.
We played that song last night, believe it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did hear it.
I didn't know if you got a chance to catch us. A lot of people now are watching us on YouTube as well as Facebook, which is great, and we have the YouTube feed pumped in directly to them, so anything that they see on YouTube, it automatically transfers immediately over with our live broadcasts, and then they can go to the YouTube site, including you and anybody in your family. They can go to the YouTube site and see your interview as well after this evening's show is over. Hey, your latest recording, tell me about that. You said the one that you're going to be working on. You said you guys have some songs already put in mind. Don't reveal what they are, but
yes, we have. It's going to be a mixture of some 4, maybe 5 of the songs are all original.
Okay.
And some of the Polish songs are songs that I always wanted to do, or I heard growing up as a child and never really heard them recorded a lot. Okay. And Troy and I came up with a couple little very old school tunes that I think will work out. And
good.
And we have a couple instrumentals too, which you don't hear too often anymore. And my other partner in crime, I call him, is Don Sokup. He's the drummer. Donnie's also the co-founder and co-leader of the Uptown Sound, as well as the Honky Express. And basically, when we started the Honky Express, speaking of Troy Govlock as well, I saw Troy Govlock back in 2005 playing at a dance in Berea, Ohio, at St. Adalbert's, and Charlie Tansick was playing, and he brought this young man up to the bandstand, and he had a little, like a Pearl Queen or Pearl King concertina, like maybe a double reed.
Okay.
And he sat down, and he was playing along with Charlie, and I looked at Sandy, I said, I think I'm going to start a band.
Nice.
And I called Charlie a week later. I told my drummer, Donnie Sokup, the co-leader, I said, hey, I think we can get something going again. Beautiful. And then I called Troy, and we started out just as the 3 guys. We had had a practice, and it worked out good. And then we brought a couple other guys in the band, and the rest was history after that.
Well, Jody, I've always respected your musicianship, as well as Troy and all of your brothers that we've had a chance to listen to over the years. But we kind of we, meaning our surprise band here in Buffalo, that we had to got together and just formed a bunch of guys and just said, hey, let's go out and play a couple of jobs and have some fun. And you and Troy were kind enough to come out, I believe it was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2018 or 2019, that we had you guys come out and you played the Buffalo Polka Booster Picnic with us in the afternoon.
That was a great time.
Oh, we had a blast.
That was a great time.
And it was yourself and Troy, Ricky Pianowski on drums, Jimmy Kaminsky on the other concertina. Let's see, Mark Cohan was playing bass, and I grabbed a horn and started to play next to you. And, you and I just gelled, but I think it's probably because of the old honky stuff that we kind of grew up on together.
Well, the old honky stuff and the old, what they call Dino Chicago stuff. And as I remember back in, as far as me and you go back, I remember back in 1975, I was playing a festival at Idora Park called the Battle of the Bands, and with Maddie's Polish Princes, and there was this band there called the Uniontown Cavaliers.
I was just going to say, I was with the Uniontown Cavaliers back in 75.
And that's where we
hooked up.
Started our friendship.
Yeah. It's amazing how the polka community has not only formed but has bonded together and stayed together all of these years. It's truly amazing. It's not like, well, okay, you see somebody and hi, how you doing? I mean, it's just, it totally amazes me on how everybody, once you do get to know each other, that friendship remains forever.
Well, that's what I love about polka music is I call it our circle, and a lot of people that are not involved in polkas, they have no clue what a good time and great friendship that they are missing out on.
You are absolutely right. Now, what would you, and that leads me to one of my final questions. I can't believe we've been on here for a half an hour already, but that leads me to one of my final questions. What would Jody Maddie say to somebody that is just getting into music or wants to get into music? What advice would you give that person?
I would say if you hear of a band, if you're playing an instrument already and you hear of a band that has an opening, push as much as you can to try to get a shot at even playing one song with them, because sometimes that's all it takes is one song. If they hear you play that one song, and they can tell if it's a fit or not.
Hey, that's a good statement. A very good statement.
Thank you.
And I know that you hey, and I got to ask you this: what caused you to change the name of Honky Express to Uptown Sound?
Well, the reason why we had to change the name, we wanted to change the name, is to basically for better marketing purposes. I mean, I'm a lover of Chicago style, honky style polkas, Eastern style polkas, and we've always played a lot of other styles of music as well. And it's just that several times over the years, I know we were passed up on possibly getting a nice engagement, other engagements because of the name Honky Express. They didn't realize that we also played the push style polkas or American music, and I know we were bypassed a few times, and they were worried about advertising as well, because I've had since we changed the name to the Uptown Sound, which the Uptown Sound is not a new name. I actually had the Uptown Sound for about a year and a half back in 1985, 86.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, then due to everybody's work schedules, I don't like to, it got to the point where 2 guys could make it, 3 guys couldn't. So I just decided to put that on pause, and I ventured out on my own as far as filling in and traveling with other bands.
Gotcha. And in closing, Jody, I think because you said that you've been listening to a lot of the interviews throughout the last year or so, you kind of know where I'm headed with this next question. The very last question is, can you share with us your favorite breakdown story, if you've had one?
Well, I'll tell you what, Robin. This breakdown story, when we first broke down, first of all, we were heading up to Chicago to play for Kathy Blazonczyk, booked us to play at the Oktoberfest October 2nd, 2016. And we were making our first appearance in the Chicago area with the Honky Express, and we were all gung ho. I was just enlightened by just going up there and being able to perform at the Glendora House, because I was there with a couple other bands playing over the years, and I just wanted to see what my band could how they could entertain the people up there. Mm-hmm. And Kathy booked us up there, and we were going up there. It was a Sunday morning, and we left in plenty of time early. We had to start at 1:30 in the afternoon, and we just hit the Indiana-Illinois border like at 10:30 in the morning, and my van just died out.
Oh.
And we were only about a half an hour from the Glendora House.
Oh.
And so first thing we did was call AAA. And AAA, they had a hard time figuring out where we were at, because we were right on a 1 mile sticker into the Illinois border. So once they figured out where we were at, they said, well, we're going to send somebody. But in the meantime, I was worried about getting our equipment up to the Glendora House, and I gave Kathy Blazonczyk a call, and Kathy, as well as Tish and their friend Brian and Sandy's cousins, they also drove up from North Royalton, Ohio, Robert and Danielle Kucharski, and they all had minivans, and they were all right there for us. They all came down to where we were broke down along the highway.
Wow.
And we offloaded probably 2/3 of our equipment into like 3 minivans. And I told them, go ahead. Some of the guys went with them. And I waited with the van, waited for U-Haul to get, not U-Haul, for AAA to get there. Mm-hmm. And so they went on to the Glendora House, and then probably about 45 minutes later, I mean, time was just flying. When you break down, this was the only breakdown I ever had in my life playing.
Wow.
And the time was just, even though we broke down at 10:30 and didn't have to start playing till 1:30 in the afternoon, the time was just buzzing right by. And finally, AAA got there, and they towed the van, as well, flatbedded the van, as well as towing the trailer up to the Glendora House. And when I got there with the van and the rest of the equipment, we had probably 30 people that were waiting there to hear us play. They all came outside and helped us unload the rest of the equipment.
Oh, that's amazing.
Carried it inside, and they were actually helping us set up. And at the same time, Jimmy Killian and Kevin Altenberg, they were there to see us. So Kevin had his concertina, and while we were trying to set up and get dressed, they were entertaining the crowd for us.
Oh, that's great.
And then at the end of the evening, Eddie Jr., along with Kathy B. They took us in their vehicles to a hotel so we were staying overnight there until I could get my van fixed.
Oh, that's great. That really is.
I mean, they set us up all the way, and what started out to be a nightmare as far as a breakdown turned into a wonderful dream.
Leave it up to the Chicago folks and the Blazonczyk family. Top-notch, A#1, no matter what way you look at them. And it's, wow, that's
Exactly.
a great story. Hey, Jody, thank you so very, very much for taking the time today. Also, say hello to your beautiful bride, Sandy. Apologize to her for us taking so much time, but we do thank you. I love you, buddy. You know that from the bottom of my heart. We've been friends for many, many years, and I hope to see you soon. I'm sure our paths are going to cross sometime in 2022.
Well, I'm sure they will. Robin and Sandy and I love you and Jerry very much as well.
Thank you.
And the friendship, and thanks so much for having me. And I really enjoyed it, and it's wonderful that we have all this internet these days as far as Polkas After Dark, Polka Jammer, 24/7 Polka Heaven.
Amen.
I swear, like I told you before, if it wasn't for all of this stuff going on in the polka industry now, especially during the COVID, the last 2 years, this is what kept our polka music that we all love. This is what kept it alive.
Yeah, amen. Jerry and I listen a lot to the Jammer, and we catch Brian and Kayla Urbanczyk on 247 Polka Heaven and Jake Fortin. So, yep, I do. I thank you so much. I appreciate every kind word that you said. And we are going to play a song right now off of your recording. Here's one called Polka Heaven. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you very much.
Where great musicians play that old Chicago way, and someday we'll be there to hear their music. So listen up, this polka's just for you. There's Eddie Shima on the concertina. There's Russian Wally, Steve Adamczyk too. They say that there's a place called Polka Heaven, and someday we'll be there to play for you. When we go up to Polka Heaven, we'll be there 7 days a week, and the music can't be beat. We'll see our friends we used to see together, and then forever we'll never be apart. When we go up to Polka Heaven, we'll be there 7 days a week, and the music can't be beat. We'll see our friends we used to see together, and then forever we'll never be apart. Where great musicians play that good old Eastern way, and someday we'll be there to hear their music. So listen up, this polka's just for you. There's Gene Wisniewski and Frank Wojnarowski. There's Ray Henry and Ray Buchowicz too. They say that there's a place called Polka Heaven, and someday we'll be there to play for you. When we go up to Polka Heaven,
Hey, Jody, Maddie, Honky Express out of the Cleveland, Parma, Ohio area. And we want to thank Jody one more time for his time this evening in an interview here on Polkas After Dark. Hey, folks, if you're just joining us, we've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for you throughout the rest of the evening up until 7 p.m. The time is 6:10 p.m. right now, Eastern Time. Let's bring up a song by Freeze Dried. Here's one called After Hours at the Omen. Send this one out to my lovely girl, Jerry. Also her daughter, Justina, and Aaliyah and Silas as they're heading home right now.
His record now, the fun has just begun. The juice begins to leave the cooler. Bags of chips are twirling round. A couple of microphones are singing out their hearts. The clocks are waving their hands in perfect time with the bands. There's gonna be a polka party all night long. Many hours, the party rolled on. It started getting pretty wild around the middle of the night, and then a crash was heard from not too far. It was a shot glass who tried Yezhenovka and fell off the bar. The brew and dustpan marched right in to sweep the pieces from the floor. One by one the glasses dove into the sink, and when the owner came around there were no clues to be found to prove there was a polka party all night long.
After Hours at the Omen, that's the sound of Freeze Dried. We sure miss those guys out in Chicago, Illinois, but the Osheshik brothers and also the Kraviches I know are listening in. Kraviches are still down in Florida, I believe, and we're going to send a big shout out to them. Hope you guys are still staying warm. We saw a couple of pictures of them on a beach. Shame on you, as we're up here freezing in Buffalo weather. Well, freezing in the 40s and low 30s in the evenings. Hey, you know, we're going to play a couple of Christmas songs, as we mentioned. And here's one coming up from a gentleman that is going to be interviewed next year with us. Gosh, it sounds like so far away, but it's really not. He's going to be joining us in January. And his name is Dave Kovrinsky. And here is a song called Christmas Harmony Polka. Sorry, it's not polka, but it's still Christmas harmony.
Everyone should always be full of peace and harmony. So once a year, we all come near at Christmas. Count your blessings, the family, sharing love for all to see. That's the reason there's a season called Christmas. It's Christmas harmony. Look in your heart, it holds the key to all the joys that life can bring. So gather round and we will sing. For the love that people share can only happen to those who care. So that's the reason there's a season called Christmas. Hang the stockings in late fall. Few more weeks till Santa calls, anticipating the children waiting for Christmas. Lots of presents under the tree, wrapped in paper for you and me. It's a sign people are kind at Christmas. It's Christmas harmony. Look in your heart, it holds the key to all the joys that life can bring. So gather round and we will sing. For the love that people share can only happen to those who care. So that's the reason there's a season called Christmas. Christmas harmony. Look in your heart, it holds the key to all the joys that life can bring. So gather round and we will sing. For the love that people share can only happen to those who care. So that's the reason there's a season called Christmas. That's the reason there's a season called Christmas.
A little bit of change up in the music sequence. That is Dave Kovrinsky. What a voice, what an entertainer. And we're going to send that one out to David and also to his lovely wife Arlene. Once again, we're going to have Dave Kovrinsky joining us in January of 2022. We've got a bunch of people on the back burner, so we are excited, and we'll let you know just how that unfolds coming up in the next few weeks. Hey, we've got a polka personality in the chat room here on Facebook. Ms. Dawn Suhan Rogers. She's got her feet on the ground. She must not be listening in the air. Here's Hard Times.
Let's stick together and get through hard times. And let's remember we should always try to make the best of everything. It's the time for us to be ever faithful in our lives.
Hey, gonna say hi to Sue Okel in the chat room here on Facebook. Great to see you here as well.
Hold my hand and I will walk with you. These ever-changing times are hard to do, but we can face this all the way. You and me, we're here to stay. Side by side, we'll see this through. You have shown me that you care for me, by my side and always there for me. It's time for us to take
Don Rogers a little bit of Hard Times off of the recording that she did with Nathan Newman. And he's out there in Minnesota. She, I believe, is still living in Utah. And what a great voice, great entertainer she is as well. We've had the opportunity to catch some YouTube videos throughout. And we just want to say thank you so much for your contributions to the polka music world. Also going to say hello to Mike and Sue Birdsey. Let's see, as we scroll through here, we've got, let's see here. Don says, yes, it keeps freezing for a couple of seconds every 10 to 15 seconds. I know that happens on the Facebook feed. I don't believe it is happening on the YouTube feed. We have seen nothing of that. We're also going to say hi to Brian and Kayla Urbanzik. And how about we take a run over? Boy, Jerry is so good at this, and I am just so bad at this. But hello to Les and Alice Kapushchinsky, Jerry Romanowski, Alice Fischler up there in Canada. And Les, thank you so much. You were definitely able to isolate on the issue last evening with the female voice coming in. We found that it was one of our screens, Les. So thank you so much, because Chris Tansky also brought it to our attention yesterday. But we're going to try to make sure that we screen those a little better. Hey, you know what? We're going to play a song. We're going to dig into the archives. Here's one by the New York Sound. And Mr. Mike Birdsey on the vocal, singing to his lovely bride, Sue. Here's one called Polka Queen.
She didn't even see me or the twinkle in my eye. I watched her every movement like she had me in a trance. I had to try and make her mine before she left the dance. Come dance with me, my polka queen, because I love you so. And I will make you love me too before it's time to go. Come dance with me, my polka queen, the music soon will start. And if you let me dance with you, I'll dance into your heart. As we moved along as one, and by the time the night was through, I knew my heart had won. I'll always have her with me as we polka through our life, because my little polka queen will soon become my wife. Come dance with me, my polka queen, because I love you so, and I will make you love me too before it's time to go. Come dance with me, my polka queen, the music soon will start. And if you let me dance with you, I'll dance into your heart. Come dance with me, my polka queen, because I love you so. And I will make you love me too before it's time to go. Come dance with me, my polka queen, the music soon will start. And if you let me dance with you, I'll dance into your heart.
A one called Polka Queen. I don't believe that album was ever released, but we were able to get a hold of that through some powers that be, and we thank them so much for doing that. Hey, let's bring up a Canadian gentleman. His name is Ed Gutza, and this is going to feature his lovely daughter Karen on a song that they did last year during COVID. They released this. Here's one called Silver Bells.
Children laughing people passing, meeting smile after smile, and on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. City streetlights, even stoplights, blinking bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all the bustle you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
A beautiful traditional song done up right by a Canadian gal. Her name is Karen Gutza. What a great job she did on that. Hey folks, if you're just joining us, well, we've got, let's see, about 27 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to be here. I understand that folks are having some issues on our Facebook feed, and I do apologize for that. And if you are having some issues, you can jump on over to our broadcast link. Link is spelled with a C.com. Or, of course, there's our YouTube channel now, which is a live feed. Just scroll over in to find the live. It'll say Jody, Maddie interview. That's the one that we're on right now, and you can catch that one live. Here's a tune by Eddie Blazonczyk and the Versatones. Gonna send it out to Tommy Hoke. He's a big fan. Here's Merry Christmas Polka.
They're tuning up the fiddles now, the fiddles now, the fiddles now. They're playing out a Christmas sound to set your heart a-whirl. Around and around the room we go, the room we go, the room we go. Around and around the room we go. Get yourself a girl now, every heart will start to tingle when sleigh bells jingle on Santa's sleigh.
He will be there to bring you presents
on another Christmas day. They're tuning up the fiddles now, the fiddles now, the fiddles now. They're playing out a Christmas sound to set your heart a-whirl. Now every heart will start to tingle when sleigh bells jingle on Santa's sleigh.
He will be there to bring you presents
on another Christmas day. They're tuning up the fiddles now, the fiddles now, the fiddles now. They're playing out a Christmas sound to set your heart a-whirl.
Here's a tune that was played yesterday, or should I say last evening.
Też przychodzi ubodzy ludzie, pokłon Panu oddać w tej lichej bucie. Siewsy, krawsy, syrulicy, kuźnierz, piekarz, powróżnicy, cieśla z kowalem. Siewsy, krawsy, syrulicy, kuźnierz, piekarz, powróżnicy, cieśla z kowalem. Idźcie, piewcie, krawcie, do szopki złokcie, a ty siewcie nie chodź, bo śmierci zdziekcie. Podaruj mu koszuleczkę i usi mu sukieneczkę, bo na go leży. Podaruj mu koszuleczkę i usi mu sukieneczkę, bo na go leży. Spóźnię się, a wy co macie? Jakie podarunki panu oddajcie? Ja pochylny święty chleba koziuszka mu też pocieba, bo w zimie leży. Ja pochylny święty chleba koziuszka mu też pocieba, bo w zimie leży. Jak cieśla stolarzem krzyżyk ci zrobię, jak powróżnik powróż przy sposobie. Jak kował gwoździ nakuję tobie, Jezu, podaruję na ręce nogi. Jak kował gwoździ nakuję tobie, Jezu, podaruję na ręce nogi. Ja też przychodzę się w ci kłopoti, przynoszę ciewiczki na twoje nogi. Józef mówi, idźcie ciewcie twych ciewiczków, Jezus nie chce, bo śmierdzą dziewczę. Józef mówi, idźcie ciewcie twych ciewiczków, Jezus nie chce, bo śmierdzą dziewczę.
Pastoralki is the type of music that you're listening to, and that is off of the brand new release, Folk Carols of Poland, and you can get yours, and here's how to order. Here's a nice little mixture of songs on that latest recording.
Oto stajenka, w której panienka dziecię piastuje, mile całuje syneczka swego. Nie w Betlejem Galilei, bardzo podłym mieście, ale w Polsce mały Jezus rączką gwiazdę pieści. Matka Boska wieczorami białe nitki cięła i śpiewała piosneczkami kolenda, kolenda.
Szczęśliwa kolego, szczęśliwy żłobie, ten Bóg, co świat stworzył, położą w tobie. Niebem nie szczęśliwa, kolego, szczęśliwy sobie. Niebem mnie odnaniony w tobie wszystek, zamkniony szczęśliwa, kolego, szczęśliwy sobie.
Witajże dzieciątko z Panny narodzony, jasełka k nam rozie nago położony. Witaj królu nieba, królu nieskończony, witaj i monarcho nieprzezwyciężony. Witaj królu nieba, królu nieskończony, witaj i monarcho nieprzezwyciężony.
Hi, polka fans. Robin Pegg, host of Polkas After Dark on our broadcast link with a C.com. Also streaming live on Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. Thanks goes out to Troy Govlock for joining us last evening on our Saturday night edition of Polkas After Dark, as we were able to play some of the cuts off of his brand new release called Folk Carols of Poland. Please make sure that you go online today and order your copy at folkcarolsofpoland.com. That's folkcarolsofpoland.com. Order yours today. Get it just in time for Christmas, and they make great stocking stuffers, so order more than one. Hey, how about a little bit of box on for our gal out there in Lancaster, New York? And we're speaking of Gail Wojtowicz.
Home be filled with laughter as you decorate the tree.
May the Savior's love surround you. That's the way he'd have it be.
May this Christmas be remembered as the one so filled with love. Like that first Christmas morning when our Lord came from above. May your holidays be joyous and your happy dreams come true. May the peace you have this season last the whole entire year. Christmas time with friends and family, it's our special wish for you. A little family style Christmas is our special wish to you. May you share your time with loved ones and make lots of memories.
And perhaps the old acquaintance Christmas greetings could renew.
Spread some cheer along to others. It's the happy time of year. Wish a very Merry Christmas to your friends both far and near. May your
Hey, that's a little bit of Box On, a family-style Christmas. Bring up Mr. Frankie Lishka, TBC, a blast from the past. Here's one called With Bells On Polka.
I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the trees and wrap the presents. Turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on. I traveled round this country, crossed the waters deep and wide, made lots of friends and memories, brought joy to other lives. It's Christmas time again, another year is come and gone, and I can't keep from wondering how the old folks are at home. I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the trees and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on.
Polkas After Dark.
I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the trees and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on. When the snow is on the meadow and the sleigh bells jingle bright, the kids are singing jingle bells around the Christmas lights. Daddy stokes the fire and Mama puts the turkey on. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. This Christmas I'll be home. I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the trees and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on.
Hey, just another happy holiday. Here's Lenny Gomolka.
Another Christmas to be together, you and me. Another Christmas, another happy holiday. Another New Year's to be together, you and me. Another New Year's, another happy holiday. Another Christmas gift to wrap and place beneath the tree. Another Christmas, another happy holiday. Another Christmas to be around your Christmas tree. Another Christmas, another happy holiday.
And a pleasant good evening to Mr. Frank Murkowski, also to Joyce, and especially from Mike Charney and his lovely missus and the little one. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Hey, we are going to be broadcasting Wednesday. Keep an eye on Facebook and YouTube because we will be broadcasting on both of those platforms, as well as our broadcast link with the C.com. Hi, Teresa Wendt, and hello to Veronica and Michael Costa. Thanks so much for getting those questions over to us. Also, hey, Vinny Cisnowski.
New Year's to be together, you and me. Another New Year's, another happy holiday. Another toast on New Year's Eve for you and for me. Another New Year's wish, another happy holiday. Another Christmas to be around the Christmas tree. Another Christmas, especially just for you and me. Another Christmas gift to wrap and place beneath the tree another Christmas card, especially just for you from me.
Hey, make way for Freddie K. It's Christmas time.
All the children being good and doing all their chores. It's Christmas time, Christmas time. Looking at the Christmas tree and all their games and toys. It's Christmas time again. Christmas carols being sung by all the girls and boys. It's Christmas time, Christmas time. Peace on earth, goodwill to men, our hearts are filled with joy.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, Valerie and Nikki Naito. Hey, Dave Lubovinsky, hope you join us this coming Wednesday. We're going to do probably an 8 to 10 for pre-Thanksgiving. Hey, gonna change it up a little bit. Take a step away from the Christmas music. How about Mike Costa and the Beat? Here's one called It Only Hurts Me When I Cry.
The only time I feel the pain is in the sunshine or the rain. And I don't feel no hurt at all, unless you count when teardrops fall. I tell the truth except when I lie. It only hurts me when I cry. You couldn't tell it by the smile, but my recovery took a while. I worked for days and nights on end just to walk and talk again. You can't believe the time it takes to heal a heartache once it breaks. The only time I feel the pain is in the sunshine or the rain. And I don't feel no hurt at all, unless you count when teardrops fall. I tell the truth except when I lie. It only hurts me when I cry.
small heartache again. You wouldn't know to look at me. There's tiny scars that you can see. It was a struggle to survive. I'm probably lucky I'm alive. The only time I feel the pain is in the sunshine or the rain. And I don't feel no hurt at all, unless you count when teardrops fall. I tell the truth that when I lie, it only hurts me when I cry. The only time I feel the pain is in the sunshine or the rain. And I don't feel no hurt at all, unless you count when teardrops fall. I tell the truth that when I lie, it only hurts me when I cry.
That song never gets old. It probably does to Costa because he's got to play it all the time. But guess what? We play it all the time too. And again, we don't get sick of it at all. Hey, you know, we're going to play a song right now for, oh gosh, let's see here. We got a bunch more people that are just popping in here. And we're going to say hi to Dennis Panner and his lovely missus. Also to your son and daughter-in-law. Kevin, thanks for all you do for polka music. I actually got to thank him for some stuff. Him and Andy Kaczmarski were able to get me up and running with my download folder. So thank you, Kevin, for your knowledge. And you're just a wealth of it, that's for sure, when it comes to computers. Once again, say hello to Patty Watson, Vince Cisnowski, the Curtises, Loretta, Tina, and Chris. We're going to say hello to all three of you. May you have a happy and a blessed Thanksgiving, everybody. We're going to be here for another maybe 8 minutes or so. Mike Charney, we also want to say hi once again to you. Let's see who else. Teresa went. We had Liz Juba in here a little while ago, towards the beginning of the broadcast. And Valerie and Nikki Nido, of course, Ivan Mayers. And let's see here, Don Rogers. Thank you. She said that, yeah, she had mentioned earlier that it was freezing up like every 10 to 15 seconds. We don't know what that is, but hopefully we can get some things resolved with that. I don't know if it's too much of a feed going through or not. It could very well be. That's technical talk. Too much feed going through the Facebook. Hey, we're going to play this version, and I hope that Kayla and Brian or Banzik are on because I played this last evening. It's kind of like a cool variation of a song that the News did. And this is called That's Christmas to Me. This is not the way the song actually was recorded. We kind of modified it a little bit, but it kind of fits the bill. So we hope you guys enjoy it.
The fireplace is burning bright, shining all on me. I see the presents underneath the good old Christmas tree. And I wait all night till Santa comes to wake me from my dreams. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Is burning bright, shining all on me. I see the presents underneath the good old Christmas tree. And I wait all night till Santa comes to wake me from my dreams. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I see the children play outside like angels in the snow, while Mom and Daddy share a kiss under the mistletoe. And we'll cherish all these simple things wherever we may be. Oh, why? 'cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging all the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Listen for the thud of reindeer walking on the roof as I fall asleep to lullabies. The morning's coming soon. The only gift I'll ever need is the joy of family. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging all the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Joy fills our hearts and makes us sing. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. And for years to come, we'll always know one thing. That's the love that Christmas can bring. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. For years to come, we'll always know one thing. That's the love that Christmas can bring. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me.
That is the news featuring the Andy Boychuk Choir. About a little bit of Santa Must Be Polish. Here's Henny and the Versajays.
Santa must be Polish, he's jolly as can be, riding on his sleigh with gifts for you and me. Santa must be Polish, all dressed in red and white, slipping down your chimney while you're asleep at night. So wish young, Boże Golano, send your meat holidays to every one of you. So wish young, Boże Golano, send ya, he brings joy and cheer to everyone each year. Santa must be Polish, he's such a merry man, bringing lots of toys to everyone he can. One thing he's demanding, he wants it understood. He'll only bring you presents if you've been very good. That's so wish young, Boże Golano, send your meat happy holidays to every one of you. That's so wish young, Boże Golano, send ya, he brings joy and cheer to everyone each year.
Randy Gamoka is going to take us all the way up. Actually, it's a little past 7 o'clock already. We went over. Whoops. Here's Christmas in Chicago.
I was sitting by my fireplace one snowy Christmas Eve when the doorbell rang, As I opened up the door, you'll never guess just what I saw. Standing there as happy as can be, I saw a concertina, clarinet, and trumpet too. I saw a big bass fiddle, violin, and drummer too. I saw a Polish caroler, a Krakowianka too. It must be Christmas in Chicago just for me and you. To my surprise, they really harmonized. As the Krakowianka swayed, the band just played and played. It's Christmas in Chicago for us all.
Hey folks, good night. Thanks ever so much for putting us on. If you've been listening in your car, thanks for the ride. Have a great and a blessed Thanksgiving with family. And we will see you Wednesday night. Okay? Not Thanksgiving, but the night before, 8 p.m. Join us.